These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up.
Voters completely reject these women on The View. They're totally out of sync with most Americans and honestly need a serious reality check.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel.
for-
Caroline, thank you very much for your time. That was so good.
When you got nothing meaningful to add, you just ramble, non-stop, endless chatter with zero substance. The voters aren't backing the women on The View. They're out of touch, lost in their own bubble.
Well, you know, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
They should turn to IM Media for a real perspective. Whoopi Goldberg ruled over The View for years, shutting down guests, steamrolling debates, and pushing her takes like they were undeniable facts.
That you saw live on this program yesterday. Joy Behar stirring the pot of controversy after saying this about Caroline.
She's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Do you want to take this?
No, you cannot be attractive and smart.
But in one jaw-dropping moment, her grip on daytime TV completely crumbled, thanks to Karoline Leavitt. Whoopi, confident as ever, leaned back, ready to dominate yet another conversation. Then came the topic of wokeness, a term The View practically worships, something they defend like their lives depend on it. Because, honestly, it kinda does.
In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more of the same of, it's all, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, 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 I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against.
Feeling untouchable, Whoopi went for the first strike, flashing her signature smirk. She pointed at Caroline and declared, without wokeness, you wouldn't even have this job.
And the abuse continued.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here. Oh, yeah. Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
And just like that, bam, the entire energy shifted. The audience stiffened. Even Joy Behar, queen of mocking conservatives, shifted awkwardly in her chair. What Whoopi said next? Exactly what you'd expect. Predictable, irritating, and stale. After all these years, you'd think she'd switch it up. But nope, same old routine. Let's see what she's got.
They talk at you, not to you, and that's what she was doing, and she was doing it, and it's not new.
No.
But everybody's hip to you all now.
Yeah.
And we are anticipating.
The room was thick with tension. Everyone braced for impact, and Whoopi had no clue what was coming. This wasn't just a debate. This was Whoopi Goldberg taking a direct shot at Karoline Leavitt's entire career. Her intelligence, her work ethic, reduced to nothing more than a product of the ideology she opposed.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
It was dismissive, condescending, meant to tear her down completely. And yet, the audience clapped, like programmed robots. Some even laughed. But beneath the forced applause, a strange energy lingered, a quiet hesitation. They knew Whoopi had pushed too far, but weren't sure if they could admit it. Caroline? She didn't flinch. No stammering, no scrambling for a defense, no desperate comeback. Instead, she did something far more powerful. She smiled, slow, knowing. A look that said, you just messed up big time. Not cocky, not arrogant, just the quiet confidence of someone holding the facts, the receipts, the truth. And then, with a calm that was almost unnerving, she flipped the script completely. The audience had never seen anything like this before. By the way, if you're loving this epic showdown, make sure to like and subscribe, because we're about to dive even deeper into this unforgettable moment. Karoline hit back with cold, undeniable facts, hard numbers, the kind you can't dismiss with a smirk or a sarcastic quip. Karoline broke it down with cold, hard facts, government spending reports exposing exactly how taxpayer money was funding outrageous woke programs, gender studies in Guatemala, Sesame Street spin-offs pushing American social activism worldwide. A long list of eyebrow-raising initiatives that sparked more questions than answers. She connected the dots with surgical precision, revealing how wokeness had evolved from a social movement into a political weapon, used to silence, control, and punish anyone who dared to push back. And Whoopi? She wasn't laughing anymore. Karoline's sharp, articulate delivery was undeniable. The real question? Why were the women of The View mocking her instead of supporting another woman? Their reaction exposed their true agenda, and we all saw it. Now let's see what happens next, because Karoline definitely isn't done. The woman who spent years dominating debates, cutting off conservative voices, and steamrolling over uncomfortable topics was suddenly on the defensive. Whoopi shifted in her seat, her signature smirk gone. Her hands moved as if searching for something to hold on to. She was used to guests stumbling, struggling to keep up with her quick-fire comebacks. Not this time. The tables had turned. No matter how badly she wanted to take back control, she couldn't. Karoline wasn't giving her the chance. In that moment, for the first time in ages, it was obvious. Whoopi Goldberg had backed herself into a corner, and there was no easy escape. She opened her mouth. Nothing. Tried again. Still, nothing. The audience, usually quick to rally behind her, sat frozen, silent. Even The View's most loyal fans looked unsure. The energy had shifted, and for once, no one knew whether to laugh, clap, or just wait for Whoopi to salvage the moment, if she even could. Even the camera crew hesitated, zoom in on Whoopi's stunned face, capturing the moment she realized she trapped herself, or cut to commercial and pray viewers wouldn't notice. Whoopi, usually armed with a snide remark or dismissive wave, sat stiffly, clearly wishing she could sink into her chair. She walked straight into a trap, no easy way out. And Karoline had just exposed the real question. If wokeness is about diversity and inclusion, why are conservative women the ones under attack? Why do those who preach tolerance turn vicious the second someone steps out of line? Whoopi had no comeback, no sharp retort, no witty remark to spin the moment in her favor. The silence stretched, thick and undeniable. Desperate to salvage the wreckage, Joy Behar jumped in, throwing out a nervous joke in a last-ditch effort to break the tension. Too late. The damage was done. Whoopi had done something even she had never done before. She had completely unraveled on live television. Hard to watch, right? The way her arguments collapse under pressure, so dismissive, so childish, especially when she's confronted with facts she can't just brush off. It makes you wonder, how does she still hold so much influence? It's frustrating. Someone so out of touch, still clinging to a massive platform. Maybe it's habit. Maybe it's her deep roots in daytime TV culture. But by now, you'd think she'd be replaced by someone actually capable of real debate. And then the internet got involved. Memes, reaction clips, endless commentary. Within minutes, Whoopi's stunned reaction was everywhere, replayed on a loop, dissected frame by frame. But here's where it gets even wilder. This wasn't the first time Whoopi's mouth landed her in hot water. Over the years, The View has become a lawsuit factory, dragging ABC from one controversy to the next. From tone-deaf Holocaust comments to bizarre defenses of questionable figures, Whoopi has fueled some of The View's biggest scandals. But nothing rocked ABC harder than the recent wave of defamation lawsuits. It's refreshing to see someone finally break free from The View's scripted bias. Watching someone stand their ground with cold, hard facts, that's a win. Especially when the usual voices, so used to controlling the narrative, begin to crumble under pressure. It's satisfying to hear a different perspective, one free from the predictable agenda we've all seen 1,000 times before. Karoline's stats speak for themselves. Her work, her knowledge, her composure, it's all finally getting the recognition it deserves. On the flip side, Whoopi's accomplishments. They're harder to define these days. While she once had a strong acting career, her recent contributions have been far less about adding substance and far more about stirring controversy. Instead of offering thoughtful discussion, she's leaned into sensationalism. And let's be real, her spot on The View feels more like tenure than actual value. It's tough to point to anything truly substantial she's done lately. The explosive truth. And then, the bombshell dropped. Leaked emails confirmed it. ABC had intentionally orchestrated the attack on Carrie Underwood. It wasn't a random slip-up. It was a calculated smear campaign, a manufactured controversy designed to create outrage, drive engagement, and keep The View trending. When the truth came out, the entire industry was shaken. ABC executives scrambled into damage control mode, forced to settle for a massive undisclosed amount. Behind closed doors, whispers began to spread. Was The View even worth the trouble anymore? But just when ABC thought the storm had passed, Elon Musk happened. Whoopi and the hosts had spent months painting Musk as a dangerous figure, spreading false claims about Twitter's policies under his ownership. Musk wasn't going to let that slide. He sued. And just like that, The View was back in crisis mode. Advertisers, once loyal to the show, started backing out. They were tired of the constant scandals. The show's reputation as a ratings powerhouse began to crumble. Once an unstoppable force in daytime television, The View was now a liability. Big-name sponsors, once eager to attach themselves to the brand, started questioning whether it was worth the risk anymore. As the lawsuits stacked up, the cracks in The View grew even deeper. What was once a dominant media platform, led by Whoopi Goldberg, was now collapsing before everyone's eyes. ABC was in full-blown crisis mode. With 3 major lawsuits and advertisers pulling out, the network was spiraling fast. And this time, there was no saving it. She's talking in circles, but Karoline, she's the one truly standing up. She's the hero here, pushing back against all of this. The truth is on her side, and for once, the usual power players can't just brush it off. Whoopi Goldberg's time at The View came to an unexpected end. For years, she dominated the show, cutting off opposing views, dictating the narrative, and steamrolling guests who dared to challenge her. But one moment changed everything. Her final showdown with Karoline Leavitt didn't just shake things up, it exposed her biggest weakness on live TV. ABC tried to spin it as a temporary break for Whoopi, but no one was buying it. The truth? She had been let go. The network was in full-blown damage control. Advertisers pulled their support. Loyal fans began questioning the show's future. And now, The View is at a crossroads. Without Whoopi, the show faces a massive decision. Will they replace her with another Whoopi? Someone to continue the same scripted agenda? Or will they finally change direction? Because, let's be real, audiences aren't as blind as they once were. People see through the manipulation, the scripted bias, the predictable talking points. So, is this the beginning of the end for The View? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you love this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe. There's so much more coming, and you won't want to miss it.